Welcome back to MVL's YouTube page. I'm Jonathan, the Assistant Sales Manager here. Today we're reviewing probably my favorite car ever, the 911 992 Turbo S. Make sure you click the link below so you can get in touch with me personally. Let me know if you want to flip a car, find a car, or source a car. We pretty much do everything here at MVL. So a few things I'd like to talk about. The 992, the body style, the body language, it's more of a touring vehicle, more so versus the 991.2 being a bit more of an analog car. But truthfully, I think it sits perfect. A Turbo S should be a touring car. It should be an almost 700 horsepower beast that you can drive in the mountains comfortably, or go to a business meeting, or if you want to track the car and bring it home, it's probably the only car you could do that with. If we go over the front, you'll have your LED matrix lights that's currently equipped on this vehicle. It does have active aero on it. So the active aero, it goes, so when it's in Sport Plus, you'll have your wing come up, which looks great. You'll also have your little shark fin at the bottom of the vehicle that will come down. It generates more downforce on the vehicle. You'll also notice this car, because it's a North American car, it comes with the orange clear markers. To me, I'd probably spend the extra 300 bucks and get the clear markers for the I think it's the EU spec that has that. I think it changes the complete look of the vehicle. Cosmetically from the front, there's not really much you can criticize. Like it looks incredible. If we come over to the side, you'll notice that we have our big 10-piston ceramic brakes, which you'll be able to see if you come on over. This car is optioned with the center lock wheels. I love that. No matter if you're looking at a GTS, I think you should always choose center locks. Cosmetically, it looks a lot better. It is a bit of a pain to take them off, but I imagine you're not servicing your GTS or your Turbo S, so who cares? So we'll come over to the back. On the front right side here, you'll have your gas. To open it up, it's just like so. It's traditionally in the back on most sports cars. I do love it in the front. It's on the right-hand side, which is nice. This vehicle is optioned with the exclusive fuel cap. So normally it just comes all black. There's no finishing to it. The exclusive fuel cap kind of gives it that, like it feels like a finished product. So you'll have Porsche come across it and this is stainless steel finish, which is really nice. So you just take it off like a normal gas cap. And what's nice, and a lot of people don't really utilize that, is they just drop it, which could scratch your paint, but Porsche thought ahead, and there's a little placeholder for that, which is pretty cool. We'll put this in, button it up. If we come over to the back, it's a two-door coupe. So in the Turbo S, you'll also have the significant aero to the vehicle. Everything is functional. So the body style is your flagship vehicle. It'll be different from your normal Carrera 4S, Carrera C2S, whatever it is. But you'll notice the rear is a lot wider. The hips on this vehicle speak for itself. You'll have a fully functional wing in the rear. So it does come up once you exceed 80 kilometers. This car's optioned with the red bar. That's your standard option. What I would do is I'd pay for the upgraded tinted LED lights. And what that does is it makes this almost transparent, like a clear coat. So it'll look similar to this. On a black vehicle, I think it just makes it more monochromatic and it finishes the rear end. I think this still looks amazing, but I'd probably choose the tinted LEDs. You got sport exhaust on the vehicle. Standard, it comes with quad tail pipes at the bottom here. But what I like about having the sport exhaust is dual, looks great, but it also lifts your license plate holder above as well. So cosmetically, I think it just kind of finishes the car. If we come over to the side here, again, all air invents are fully functional. So we'll open up the door and look inside. All right, my favorite cockpit. So this car is spec'd with the 18-way seats. I love the 18-way seats because I'm not the slimmest guy, but it makes you feel almost like you're in a bucket, but you have the comfortability of just driving the car and not getting a sore back. So you'll have your side bolsters, which you can completely adjust both at the bottom and the top. And then you'll have your fully retractable seat. And then you'll have a 4-way power lumbar support as well, which is pretty nice. The fit and finishing in a Turbo S is unmatched. It's got the full extended leather. So Everything is black. It's all monochromatic in this specific spec. But you'll notice if I close the door here, if you choose the extended leather, you'll get deviated stitching consistent throughout the entire vehicle, which is nice. And you can choose a range of options of colors. I do like it in all black. I think it's really clean, it's simple, and it looks good. This vehicle is spec'd with the satin carbon fiber finishing. So you'll have that on the side here. Your steering wheel will be carbon, and then you'll have your carbon finishing just under the touchscreen here as well. It does have the sunroof, which is nice. You can option it with a carbon roof if you choose the lightweight pack, which I believe also comes with the Aero Kit. And we'll go over what the Aero Kit provides later on. But let's fire this beauty up. All right, so we just fired it up. One thing I will state, Porsches are always, you won't find the exhaust to be loud and obnoxious. It's more refined. So if you're looking for that loud emotional feel, I would suggest putting an exhaust on the car. I think fitted best on the Turbo S would be the Akrapovic exhaust. And pretty much what it does is it removes the valve. So you'll get a better feel and a better response from the engine. Moving forward, if we look at the dash here, you'll have two fully customizable displays. They're digital. So on the left, this car is optioned with adaptive cruise and Inno drive, which is really nice. So you'll be able to choose how many car lengths you wish to be from the vehicle in front of you by toggling this button up and or down. And then on the right-hand side, you just push this button to move the display, and you'll see the little red light come above the screen. And that's how you know we're on this page now. And you can scroll through, let's go through it. So you'll be able to see your power performance, your tire pressure, all-wheel drive, which is great, your G-force, Sport Chrono is pretty cool. So you can time how quick you get around your neighborhood. 2.3 seconds 0 to 60 is pretty insane. And then you can have, if you just want your maps here and maybe Apple CarPlay up, you can have your maps integrated on the screen as well. The car is standard with Sport Chrono, so launch control is pretty crazy. You'd have to put the car in Sport Plus. You put your foot on the brake, hold for 3 seconds, put your foot on the gas at the same time, and then the vehicle will let you know when launch is ready by giving you a yellow indication and a small chime. And that's when you take your foot off the brake and make sure you have 2 hands on the wheel. Infotainment, I find this car is optioned with front axle, which is nice because you can actually program this to your maps. So if you want to save your front axle, so if you have a steep driveway or whatever it is, you don't physically have to push this button every time. You can actually save that to your profile. So let me demonstrate. If I push and hold this, the door's open, so it won't actually work. But if I were to push and hold this, you'd almost hear like a little chime, and at the bottom, it would give you a notification. Would you like to save this destination? And you would click yes, and every time you approach that specific place, the front axle will lift for you. Going to the touchscreen, it's pretty user-friendly, so you'll have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. I believe 22 is the first year with Android Auto capability. But I do find that the infotainment is very seamless to use. It's straightforward. There's not a lot of screens. There's only 2. There's one that's a bit more complex, but it's not really. It'll just give you the icons of like your navigation, media, phone, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. And then if you wanted a more simplistic view, you could choose between 3 widgets and you can customize them. So like right now we have phone, Bluetooth, map setup. But if there's a different configuration that you prefer, you can just push these 3 buttons at the bottom and then you can configure your own screen. So those 3 buttons at the bottom of the right side of the screen. All right, perfect. Let's take a look at the front again. So a lot of people say a 911 is not practical, but honestly, I find that the capacity of what you're able to hold in the front is a lot more than your average sports car. There's 2 ways you can open the front. Actually, there's 3. You could do it on the driver's side, just on the footwell. You could use the key fob, or you can simply swipe your hand like so, and it pops open for you, which is pretty cool. These are all still handmade, the Porsche crest. I think that's incredible because a lot of manufacturers are moving away from that. And then you pop it open and then take a look at how deep it is. So you could probably fit 2 carry-ons pretty comfortably in a Turbo S. All right, let's take a look at the back again. 3.8 flat 6 twin turbo. So I think I mentioned this before. The only thing I don't love about the 911 is for you to see your engine bay, you have to take off the full bumper, but the performance in a Turbo S is unmatched. So 0 to 60 in 3.6 seconds if you're in Sport Plus and launch control active. I think that's crazy. It's something everyone should experience once. The G-force you feel in your stomach, it's like a pit. You're on a roller coaster. Yeah, I think it's crazy. What they've done here, it's the pinnacle of a sports car to me. I think Porsche stands behind their product. You can warranty it for a long while. I think they'll CPO a car up to 15 years. So that's 13 years carrying it to 15. Servicing on a car like this is also reasonably affordable compared to its competitors and its peers. I would say your average cost of ownership per year is probably sub $2,000. And I think that's pretty crazy because you're driving a supercar and it's costing you about $2K to service per year. If we talk about McLaren, it's a little bit of a different story. All right, so those are some of the reasons why the Turbo S is personally my favorite car. There's over 25 variants of the 911, which is pretty crazy. Porsche's got pretty much personalization down to a T. Would you be choosing a Turbo S or would you be going naturally aspirated, loud GT3? Let me know in the comments below. My name's Jonathan, and thanks for watching.